much, and welcome to this edition of TNT. Without any further ado, Lord Alfred Hayes and myself would like for you to welcome, without a doubt, the only individual deserving of the title Living Legend. Would you please welcome Bruno Sammartino? What's happening in the Sammartino clan these days? You have been extremely busy, and of course, your son David as well, all up and down the highways and byways of the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, you know, Vince, yes, David is quite active now, busy, traveling, you should say, all over, and the fact that he's doing that, it's kind of got me a little active again. You know, for years, I've continued my training since I kind of slowed down or retired from wrestling. I trained with David an awful lot. Maintained my road work, weight training, wrestling with David, and it's gotten me kind of enthused again, as David has always wished for perhaps once in a while that he and I would tag team. And so I welcome that challenge, and occasionally I even do a little bit of that, beside, as you know, working with you as a color commentator.
Which I very much enjoy personally, I must say. And one of the things that I also enjoyed from a spectator standpoint was recently at WrestleMania. There was a little situation there in which we'll take you by way of videotape now into a matchup involving David Sammartino versus Brutus Beefcake. But things got a little bit out of hand, as we'll take you now to the videotape, and we'll see what happens when Bruno Sammartino gets his dander up. The setting was Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania. Let's take you to the tape now.
David Sammartino now thrown outside the ring through the second and third rope to the heart. Look out! Johnny Valiant picks him up. Here comes Fuller.
Body slam on the cement.
Bruno Sammartino rams, rushes John into the ring. Here comes Dan. On the wall, look out! Paul Harbord from behind by Brutus Beefcake. Double team effort now. Sammartino, there's son David.
And the Sammartinos look like they're cleaning up on him.
Pandemonium.
Boom, and Bruno caught him with a big foot. A big right hand. And
Luscious John bailing out over the top rope. Bella's already rung. Holy mackerel, talk about pandemonium breaking loose. Look at Bruno Sammartino. He wants him back in the ring.
Well, I'll tell you, the Lion was really out for it there. I mean, you came in there like a house of fire, Bruno.
Well, you know, Vince, Beefcake's a very tough customer. He's a tough wrestler. So here's David in there with him, and he's got quite a battle on his hand because he's a big, powerful, tough, vicious man. I was in his corner merely so that he would have the concentration to deal with Beefcake and to see to it that Johnny Valiant would not interfere. Now, David got Beefcake in a bit of problems, and he stopped him. Beefcake caught him with some kind of a blow, stopped him, threw David out. And here's Johnny Valiant, picks up David and gave him a body slam. Well, I couldn't take that. After all, the match was in the ring. He had no business doing that, and I was furious. Yeah, I got involved. I could not help it. And as a result of that, believe me, my opinion of these two is pretty bad, and there's a lot of things that I'd like to do that I wouldn't even dare say, but if the opportunity ever presents itself, why, I really detested that.
Well, and you've always been an individual that hardly would be categorized as passive. I mean, if there's going to be action, you're going to be right in the middle of it. And I know, just as we saw at WrestleMania there, where you had to take action once Johnny Valiant involved himself in that. But it seems to me that even as a commentator and working with you next to each other, from time to time there'll be an occasion in which things get underneath your skin.
Well, you know, Vince, working with you as a color commentator, I try to, from all my years of experience, try to lend my so-called expertise in a particular hold, a particular maneuver, an escape, or whatever. But occasionally you have people come in that ring, they start saying derogatory things, pointing their fingers at me, making all kind of gestures. You try very hard to ignore it, but I'm a very hard person. It's hard for me to ignore things like this. More recently, this Jesse Ventura, I came this close from getting into a serious problem by just running into that ring.
All right,
there's just so much of that you can take.
Let's show you and everyone else some videotape footage involving just that scenario.
Here is your winner, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Wait a minute. Let's see if we can pick up what he's saying.
What?
minute. Ventura looking over this way. Looking over at Bruno Sammartino. I don't think Ventura wants any of that. These fans are standing up. I don't think Ventura. Oh, look at Bruno. Look at that. I don't think Ventura wants any of Sammartino.
Well, Bruno, from a personal standpoint, a very selfish standpoint, being a fan of yours, I hope that this desire, this itch, this determination that you have in terms of not being passive, I hope that it just gets inside you and starts turning around more and more and more so that we see a more active Bruno Sammartino in the squared circle.
Today, I feel very happy that I've kept myself in the shape that I've kept into, training very hard, running, lifting, training with David, because of people like this. Because if they so choose with their challenge, derogatory remarks, if I have to get in the ring with them, I'd welcome the challenge. Because nobody has ever done things like that to Bruno Sammartino and got away with it. Maybe they feel that I've been out of the ring a while and they can do it, but I'd like to show them how wrong they can be.
All right, and when we return, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have some videotape footage of Bruno's son, David, in the squared circle. Back with more of Bruno Sammartino when we return with more TNT. Back with more of wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino. In a few moments, Bruno, we're going to take you to some videotape footage involving David, your son David, in terms of his progress in the World Wrestling Federation. Are you satisfied thus far with his progress?
Yes, I am. I stated before that the toughest competition, of course, is with the WWF, and I would not have him here unless I believed in my heart and soul that he was prepared. He's very strong, as you've seen him do some feats of strength in the past. I think he's got terrific agility, and he's got good wrestling maneuvers because he's been at it since he was 8 years of age. I definitely believe that he is ready.
We're going to show you this footage now, and when we return, we'd like to get more comments from Bruno in terms of the style of David as compared to the wrestling style of himself. I think you'll see some similarities there. Let's take you now to the videotape footage of David Sammartino.
R.T. Reynolds and David Sammartino about ready to lock up. And special lady referee, the first ever in the World Wrestling Federation. Here we go now. Nice arm drag by David. And again, David Sammartino not fooled for a moment by the lunge of R.T. Reynolds. Reynolds trying to catch David off guard.
Well, David was very quick with those arm drags. I like the way he shoots him. He throws his weight so strong with it, and he does it very well. Here we see it again. Reynolds tried to catch him with a tackle, but David was clever taking him down, and here's another fast arm drag.
Shades of Bruno Sammartino, the way he shot those arm drags. And I know, Bruno, that he had an awful lot, oh my, in helping David perfect that maneuver.
Well, you know, Vince, I've been working out with David for a long time. In fact, last week we had a couple of real stiff workouts. And I'll tell you, he knows how to use his leverage. There again, we see with that arm drag. He knows how to use his weight, and he's got tremendous speed with his drags, and that's why they're so effective. And he's been very successful. And frankly, Vince, I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm very proud of David because he has really been doing well.
David now with a knee strategically placed a moment ago, but now R.T. Reynolds back to his feet. And to the ropes and off, and R.T. catches. No, look at that maneuver.
Well, there he slammed him, but he hadn't gone to Reynolds' head. Somehow, when he took the slam, he just pulled enough to take Reynolds over, and he had the momentum going, and Reynolds went right over, and I caught him with another drag, and now he's got a good arm bar on him. Now, this is very painful because, as we see, he's leaning backwards, David, and he's putting really enormous amount of pressure on the elbow and the shoulder area of Reynolds.
David Sammartino in the ropes. Now R.T. tries to set him up, coming off, and whoom, spins him right over. Sidestepped him and really delivered a knee to the abdominal area.
And that will hurt. I don't care good a shape you are, when you get a knee driven at you like that, that hurts. And here comes a big body slam.
Wow. Count of two. Bruno, it must make you tighten your own intestines there when you see David taking that kind of punishment we saw earlier.
Well, sure, it bothers me, but then, you know, this is the game. I've been through it, and I know what he's made up of, so I know that takes a blow like that, I know that he'll come back. He can take a lot, and I think right now you're going to see a vertical suplex.
David trying to shoot him up, and does indeed. He's RT up and down to the canvas. Covering RT now. Only a count of one. Uh-oh. David now with Art. Oh, wow, what a devastating suplex. Oh, that'll have to be it. No. RT still able to kick out.
Well, that's to Reynolds' credit, because to get out of two suplexes to get up like that, that's amazing.
Oh, my, that patented maneuver by David Sammartino to 3 count.
All right, your assessment there, Bruno, of David's style. It's very, very reminiscent of your style.
Well, I think, you know, first of all, David's been watching me since he was a little fella. He's also been working out with me since he was a little fella. So I think it's only natural that some of it, and I think it's hereditary, if you will.
It's also been extremely successful.
Yeah, and so far he has been very successful. Our style is very familiar, and as you remember, I used to do a lot of feats of strength, and David shows an enormous amount of strength. So I think there's a lot of similarity between he and I in our styles. And
what about a possible tag teaming? You and David together, I think many individuals would seem to think that you would gel quite well together as a tag team, but maybe your styles are too similar. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know about that. As far as the styles being similar, I think that that's a plus. I think that we know each other very, very well as far as our moves, as far as just about what we're thinking in there. And I think it can only be a plus. Plus the fact that since he was a little kid, we've been training together. We know each other so well that we can only complement each other with everything that goes on in there. No, I feel that the only thing that you might be, if you want to call it a negative, is that perhaps if he's in there or if I'm in there and getting the worst of it, it might make one react a little bit more than you would if you had just a regular tag team partner, you know. But being professionals, I think that we do the right thing in there, and you know, David's my son, and I care a lot for him. But I believe in his talents. I know how strong he is. I know how talented he is, and I still know what Bruno Sammartino can do. Bruno Sammartino is no longer 270 pounds. I'm 245 pounds, but that's by choice, because at this weight I'm fast. I have a lot of stamina and strength. Any athlete will tell you that the strength is the last thing that leaves you. So I have plenty of strength, but I wanted to maintain good speed and stamina, and I think that together I have all the confidence in the world that I think we could go in there against anybody and do okay.
As well you should, and no doubt the Sammartino name is still very much indeed synonymous with excellence in the World Wrestling Federation. We thank you for joining us on TNT.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
We'll be back with more TNT. Stay with us. Two of the more controversial individuals in the World Wrestling Federation certainly would be our next guest. Would you welcome Cowboy Bob Orton and Roddy Piper? Thank you. I must say, you gentlemen are really giving the World Wrestling Federation a stir as of late. Certainly since WrestleMania, maybe even before WrestleMania, both of you quite controversial, and certainly one of the more controversial aspects of both of you would be this cast that you've worn for some time now. Bob Orton, how's the injury coming along?
Not too good, Vince. It just won't get well.
One of them things, man.
Just won't get well.
Just one of them things. It just won't. It's because, you know, it's because of the man that he is. He just keeps pushing it and trying, and he's too brave and too honest to sit back and take a back seat and not to wrestle. And so he's just taking all his guts and going out there and wrestling every night, and it's getting hurt more and more. But you know, he just won't quit, and it's because, you know, that's the kind of men we are.
Guts, man, that's what it all boils down to. I'm what an American man should be. A cowboy. Shoot, man, if I'd have went to Nam instead of Canada, we'd have won the war.
You made the right decision.
Well, in any event, we'd like to take you to some footage and reminisce a bit with you in terms of exactly how the arm was injured.
This is the cheap shot footage.
No.
We'll show you some cheap shot artists here, but it didn't stop us, man.
No.
Okay.
First of all, we'll see Mr. Snuka doing some damage, after which we'll see Hulk Hogan doing some damage. It all happened one night in Madison Square Garden. Let's take you now to the videotape footage.
Where?
Take a look.
Where?
Orton now back into the ropes again, and wow, we've seen that twice.
My.
He whacked that arm again.
Did you see that move?
Right on the post.
Well, that is perfect execution. Still Orton comes back. Oh! Snuka, the recipient of a...
Orton in a lot of pain. He just whacked that elbow right on that turnbuckle.
A block.
Piper still definitely in control of this match. Look at Ace. That's outside interference.
Wait a minute.
Right
now,
there.
Orton is getting into the act. There comes that sling.
Look at the Hulk is dragging him up. Oh, he whacked his arm on the turnbuckle.
Sneaky, no
Well, I'm
good
sure that
thing.
brings back
Talk
some
about
bad memories.
parasites, man.
Yes, it does.
Pure parasites. That's your world's heavyweight champion. You should be real proud of him. Pure parasite. Yeah.
Sure, hit my arm on the steel pole, broke it, and I asked for time. Hey, ref, give me a second or two. I think I'm hurt. Boom, Snuka hit the arm again. Referee didn't stop it, didn't help me out a bit. But like the man I am, I took the punishment.
You know, it's just
then we get out there and Hulk Hogan, right, you're world champion. What a man he proved.
Did you not interfere? We just saw you interfere.
I was just trying to help him back into the ring. He was
You were trying to help Roddy Piper, were you not?
That's no words in his mouth.
No. See, Hulk Hogan was trying to dive out of there. I'm saying go back in there and fight like the champion you're supposed to be. And what does he do? Attack a man standing there with a broken arm.
You must take a look. You know, I understand. You know, you're sitting behind a desk and you're flopping. And I must understand that you got to think the way he was thinking. He was in trouble. He needed a way out. So he thought, excuse you. Well, I don't know that I can.
Let's take you now to some videotape footage of Cowboy Bob Orton in action.
Right now, Orton telling Roma, move back. Move back while I get set here. Okay, there they go. Cowboy Bob Orton and Paul Roma.
And as you can see, Jack, Cowboy Bob Orton's wrestling with that controversial cast on his forearm. Suffered a broken arm, I believe, at the hands of the Superfly. And Roma catches Orton. Oh, drop kicking into that turnbuckle and a beautiful arm drag takedown. And Cowboy Bob Ace is backing into the corner, Jack.
All right, Ace right now. Oh, I'll tell you, Paul Roma starting out like a house of fire. He was all set. He was all set to end this match as early as possible. Cowboy Bob right now trying to get a breather, but coming back with an assault of his own.
Well, I'll tell you, Paul Roma's a put-together young man. You can't take him too lightly. And Orton, I think, got caught a little lackadaisical at the start. But Cowboy Bob's getting it together now. Big body slam there, Jack.
Paul Roma feeling the effects of that tremendous body slam. There's an Irish whip. Look at that. Oh, caught the elbow. Caught the elbow right in the head area.
It looked like he caught him right on the chin with that one, and that'll knock you out quick, and then a stomp right to the face, Jack.
All right, the technician going to work on Paul Roma. You know, there's been a lot of controversy about that particular, that plastic cast that Cowboy Bob Orton has, but evidently he has been given permission by the physicians of the World Wrestling Federation to work with that particular cast on.
Well, I'll tell you, he just performed a beautiful double arm suplex with that cast, so apparently it can't be hurting Ace too bad. Drops a big right hand on the back of the head of Paul Roma and then kicks him right there. Drops that knee in there, and Roma's hurting right now, Jack.
Paul Roma feeling the effects of Cowboy Bob Orton, as Orton right now really taking control of this bout.
Cowboy Bob smiling and telling the referee, ask him, ref. Putting the pressure with that chin lock on Paul Roma, but Roma's a strong kid. Orton's going to need more than that to take him. Drives him face first into that mat cover.
Oh, that had to sting. The mat getting pounded there. The face getting pounded into the mat, and Cowboy Bob coming right back.
Picks him up. What's he going to do with him? Backbreaker. Presses him overhead and then down into the backbreaker.
Oh.
Whoa. What a move by Cowboy Bob Orton, and then poses for us.
Oh, he's loving it.
I like it. Pose for us, Bobby Orton.
He's loving it right now as he continues this assault against young Paul Roma.
He's setting him up for the, the superplex. He's setting him up for the superplex, Jack. Big shot to the jaw, and that's what shakes him up enough. Here it comes. Cowboy Bob Orton aces superplex. Watch this one, Jack.
I can hardly wait. Look at that. My goodness.
He could get a 10 count right now.
There is absolutely no defense against that move once Cowboy Bob Orton.
All right, now we're back, and your assessment of your performance a moment ago, please, Mr. Orton.
I was fantastic. What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
That assessment. Fantastic.
And
The
I
greatest I've
felt
ever
no
seen.
pain whatsoever then with your injured arm during that match.
Oh, yes, it hurt the whole time. You saw the guy. He viciously attacked my arm at the very beginning. It was only the guts and courage which I possess that brought me back, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're darn right. Not only that, did you notice there's all this controversy? Did you ever see him just even one time or intend one time to hit that other fellow with the cast? Was there any intentions? I'm telling you, I'm swearing right now. Did you ever? Did you see it? Not at all.
No,
so
none.
where's the controversy? I don't understand. The only thing I saw it just like Hogan Schnooker saying that the first thing they did was go after his arm. He didn't even retaliate. That's what kind of an athlete and human being he is. You're a wonderful guy. That's true though. He didn't even retaliate or do nothing. All of a sudden, there's all this controversy. This man has guts.
Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time you had the arm
like
inspected as such? And when would you have it last examined by a physician?
Just yesterday.
Yeah, I've got to have
And how much longer are you going to have to wear this
Got to
cast?
keep it protected. It hurts so bad.
So how much longer do you feel you have to be wearing the cast?
I'll tell you what, it's chronic. The arm's chronic. I might have to wear this the rest of my life.
The rest of your life.
Yeah. It's bad.
Well,
It just don't get any better. I keep re-injuring it and re-injuring it with these people who just won't leave it alone and let it get well.
Well, if you'll recall, Mr. Piper, it was right after we saw the injury sustained, first of all, by Superfly Snuka, and of course, Hulk Hogan didn't help matters out any on that same particular night. After that, Paul Orndorff came down to the ring.
Mr. Blunderful. Now there is the other side of the coin. There's absolutely no guts at all.
I beg your pardon?
Good abs, but no guts. Born with abs, but no guts, no brains. And I'd like to ask him. I have a chance. I've invited him in Piper's Pit because he's all hot because he lost WrestleMania. And I thought to myself, well, why did you lose? And then I thought of the brain power, and I thought of what I could ask him. And I thought of asking him before WrestleMania, why did you spend the entire evening with Lucy Hotsbottom? And then you ask why you lose. No, he said, and he's all upset. And he said, we didn't hold up our end. It's just a lack of guts, but I don't blame him for being ashamed.
And he tries to be an individual. It's a team effort on our part.
Yes. Oh, yeah. All
Yes,
for
he
one,
wants to
one
take,
for all.
He wants to take the
Oh,
whole
ha.
ball and run with it by himself. And as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, let him run.
Yeah, because he's good at that, too.
Very good.
Run he can, yes. Yeah.
Well, now, what do you think is likely to happen as Mr. Orndorff is a guest in Piper's Pit?
Well, he's got such a temper.
He's just got to admit that he made a mistake. If you just fess up, be a man.
There you go. Fess up. Fess up, fess up, fess up. That's all we're looking for right now. It's just, and then we could clear the air and we could carry you for another 2 years, Orndorff. Just fess up. You know, we're all
We'll
honest
look forward to
about
that
it.
Piper's Pit, and if you don't mind, we have a little surprise for you when we return.
I heard, that'd be
We
good.
have our own resident physician here, our own TNT resident
what?
physician that would like to take a look at, examine that arm. We'll be
we just
back
have- we
with
just
that
have
as we
to start out.
continue in just a few. Thank you, boys. And here in the doc's office, Doc Stevens, our resident TNT doctor, has joined us, and we're about ready to take a look at, pardon me. Roddy, come on in. A little early, but that's all right. Come on in.
Doc's place?
You bet.
His doorknob fell off. Come on, Bobby. Bobby, come on.
In fact, we have some x-rays that were taken prior to. Come on in, Mr. Orton. I know it's a little surprise here, but nonetheless, the doctor would like to take a look at
He's a little apprehensive. He's been to so many doctors.
Stevens, Mr. Piper.
Piper, nice to meet you.
All right, if you would explain to us a little bit, first of all, this first x-ray was taken.
This is the first X-ray of Mr. Orton's arm. It was taken about an hour after the injury.
Boy, that was a
and as
severe
you can
fracture.
see, both the radial and the ulnar bones of the forearm were both broken very severely. That's a compound fracture there. And that, of course, was a few months ago. Since then, there's been a great deal of healing taking place. You can see that the bones did not break through the skin, so surgery was not required. They were able to set the bones inside the arm without any surgery, and that helped in the healing process.
Obviously, that was very painful, was it not, Mr. Orton?
Oh, yes, it was, and it still is, I might add.
Still is. But the next X-ray would contradict that, would it not? I mean,
well, certainly as a young man and an athlete and in good condition, there's been a wonderful healing process taking place. As you can see now, both bones are in complete alignment, and everything is fine in the forearm. This was taken about 2 weeks ago. So as near as we can determine from X-rays and also from reading the entire case history, I think you have...
your name?
My name is Dr. Stevens. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Now,
That ain't his X-ray,
everything
man.
about...
That ain't his X-ray.
Can't be my X-ray.
That ain't his X-ray. You sure that's his X-ray? You got a mistake. No. Look at the length and the arm. You folks have made a mistake. His arm don't look as good as that. Now it's all mushed up and broken inside there. You take a look at that. That ain't the same even arm. Look at the length in there. Look at that there. Look at the difference there. Look at the length of that arm there, and look at the difference in
They're
that
taken
one
from
there.
2 different points. Those are the same arms.
the same arm, of course.
The same
it's
man.
not the same
Yes,
arm.
it
This
is.
arm is hurting.
Well, Doctor, if you wouldn't mind,
All the X-rays
could you examine this right away just to give our viewers, if you don't mind? I mean, you have nothing to hide whatsoever,
I
Mr.
just
Mr.
went to my
Piper.
doctor this morning, and he said it was terrible. I don't see what
Well, these
why don't we
are,
just-
gonna make.
If you have no objection, just to clarify maybe a little misunderstanding on some of the fans' part.
What do you
Let's
want
take a
me
look
to
at it.
do?
Do you mind?
would you just lie down here? We'd like to test some of the muscular and nervous reactions to see if the healing of the bone from the X-ray is
Who's he got to lie down
That's
for you to check
100%.
his arm?
We've
As a
had
matter of
I'd like
fact-
to test some of the nervous reactions in the arm.
Matter of fact, the arm, as far as the bone is concerned, should be stronger actually now than it was before, maybe?
Oh, actually, there is no scar tissue. In other words, the healing is quite very, very good. There seems
Let's
to be
take a
no
look at
problems
this.
at all. So the other thing I really want to check is reactions to see if there is anything else wrong with the arm, perhaps in the musculature or perhaps in the nervous system. There is no bleeding. That's indicated in the X-ray also, so there's nothing wrong with the veins or the arteries within the arm. So I think we have a very healthy arm here, but I'd like to test
All right,
a
let's
couple
test
of
a little
things. First of all, in looking at your chart, could you hold your arm straight up in the air as far as possible?
Easy.
all
We
right?
just saw you in a
Now,
wrestling match. The easy stuff.
Oh, see what I mean? It's sore.
that hurt,
The arm's sore.
Where did it hurt?
Right where the break was.
Yeah.
Did it
Right
hurt
about the middle.
along here at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hurt both there and there.
both sides.
Okay, let's try that again.
See?
I'm afraid you reacted before I touched you that time.
Did not.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Are you a little
really,
sensitive, perhaps?
did.
It's a little sensitive.
Well, maybe because
I
you were
think
holding
I
him by
did.
the wrist?
No, I think I'd have to pass this opinion. First of all, the X-ray shows that he is completely
It's not
healed.
his X-ray.
As far as,
It's
oh
not
yes,
my
it is.
X-ray.
Yeah, X-rays are kept track of in hospitals. There are no mistakes.
There's
in those.
never been a
Yeah,
mistake
yeah.
in a hospital, has there, Doc?
No.
That's why they don't have insurance for doctors, huh?
sure, we
Of
have
course.
insurance.
Yeah, I know.
Can reassure you this is not a mistake. Those are both his arms.
I know that it's not
And
metal.
there's no problem with the nervous system. There's no problem with the muscles. So I really think that what we have here is a man who, I'll tell you what it could be. It could be in your head. You know what it is? It could be in your head.
He's a quack! You ain't no doctor!
It's in your head.
This arm is sore!
Missouri University? No.
Missouri! They don't even have doctors in Missouri!
Brains.
Veterinarians
So
are...
there you have it then. From
No, you got nothing!
From
Look
a
at
professional
that.
standpoint,
No,
Doc
you
Stevens
got
says
nothing
there isn't a
about that.
thing
Look
wrong
at the
with
X-ray.
Mr. Orton's
You don't
arm
believe
now.
the X-rays. He's like the
Apparently, there is absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with the arm. No.
Doctor, man.
All right, we'll be back as we continue with more TNT. Stay with us with the Polish Power. That will serve as an intro for our next guest. Would you please welcome the Polish Power, Ivan Putski. Ivan, how goes it?
Great. Couldn't be any greater. Feel good. Everything's great.
You look terrific. What's your body weight now?
Oh, I'm 240. In
240.
tip-top shape.
Keep it nice and trim down at 240.
Nothing over. 35, between 235 and 240.
I remember the time when Ivan Putski weighed 300 pounds.
305 to be exact.
That was incredible. Alfred, were you following his career at that time?
Yes, I was. As a matter of fact, I was very, very close to his career. It was down in Texas.
right.
And
and,
I had the
Lord-
unfortunate occasion to face him a couple of times.
Did you really?
Once in Corpus Christi, and did he give me a thrashing?
That's right. Lord, he was a very scientific wrestler. I'll always remember that. He taught me some wrestling moves.
He did,
I
huh?
didn't even know what to do. Yes, sir. Good man.
One thing about Ivan, isn't he the most happiest wrestler there is in the whole of the profession? He always has a smile. He has a happy disposition about him, and it's a pleasure to be around him, isn't it?
Must be all that kielbasa.
Yeah, it is. All that good
Lumpy,
kielbasa.
pierogi.
Just feel very fortunate just to be in this country.
Well, indeed, you do the country proud, and certainly do the World Wrestling Federation proud. We're going to show you some footage here in a moment of Ivan Putski in action. Your arm, we noticed here, is all swollen this
Well, I
morning.
just heard it working out a little bit, but it's okay. It'll be all right.
All right, let's take you now to show you some action. Individual competition, the Polish power, Ivan Putski, squaring off where he does this thing the best, in the squared circle. Let's go to the videotape.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce the contestants for this match. First, from Hollywood, California, weighing 235 pounds, Goldie Rogers. His opponent, now about to enter the ring area, from Krakow, Poland, weighing 240 pounds, Ivan Polish Power Putski.
Ah, there he is. Look at Goldie Rogers going immediately after Ivan Polish Power Putski. And Putski with a tremendous hip toss. Look at that. Boy, the action fast and furious. The bell has not even sounded. Goldie Rogers is out, and there's Polish Power Putski.
Ivan Putski looking good, suntan. Snapmare over goes Goldie Rogers. Another snapmare. And Ivan Putski looks ready, picks him up in a big body slam. Goldie, you better get it together.
Goldie Rogers out of the ring again. There's Putski. Oh, I'll tell you.
Well, you know, Jack, I refer to him as Ivan Putski. I like the name Putski better. Big shoulder by Putski, another one by Putski, and down goes Goldie Rogers, and Goldie's bailing out again, Jack.
All right, Goldie out of the ring again. Well, I'll tell you, he's feeling the effects of some punishing moves in there by Ivan Polish Power Putski. You can hear Goldie Rogers. Rogers hollering at the crowd, hollering at the referee as Polish Power Putski, Ivan Putski that is, waits for Rogers to get back into that ring. The referee with a count right now. Rogers a little hesitant, but here we go again.
Putski's like a rock of Gibraltar in there, Jack.
He certainly is.
And Goldie Rogers going to the throat. That looked like a thumb to the throat from my vantage point. I couldn't tell, but he better do something against the Polish Power.
Another thumb. Putski reeling right now from the effects of that one.
Boom. And Putski just threw Goldie down and comes in and kicks him in the face, kicks him in the back. Putski going to work with those boots.
You want to play around with the thumb? Look out. Boy, Putski threw him down like a sack of potatoes that time.
Rogers went back to that throat, throws a big forearm in there. Looked like he thumbed him again. Goldie got to pull out all the stops to try to beat Ivan Putski.
And Goldie Rogers out once again. I tell you, Rogers, at this point in the match, really taking a pasting. But like you've mentioned several times, Jesse, there are no timeouts in professional wrestling. You've got to make your own timeouts.
That's right. Rogers needs to get outside, get his head back on top of his shoulders, figure out a new game plan, and try to find somewhere some heel of vulnerability in this body of Ivan Putski.
The crowd approving. They are approving. As Ivan Polish Power Putski raising that hand. All right, Rogers back in there. Oh, look at that. Look at Putski pounding away. Wow. He is like a man obsessed right now.
Ivan Putski with a whirlwind attack. He's throwing Rogers in. And it's the big Polish hammer.
Did he nail him good? You could hear that one in row Z. And just like that, Ivan Polish Power Putski coming up with an exciting victory.
Now that was a patented Polish hammer. That really was. When you hit him with that, have you ever had anyone get up after you deck him with that, Ivan?
Never. No one's ever gotten up. Not yet, Vinny. I hope they don't.
Well, certainly we look forward to following your career, and also we look forward to when we return, we're going to have understand on a little harvesting of some kind.
Yeah, a little harvest of the sausage. You never heard of a Polish sausage harvest?
I don't believe I've ever heard.
Oh, in Poland, we have sausages growing out of the trees.
Is that right?
That's right. Don't laugh about it, Lord. It's true. You wait and see. We're going to have a little Polish harvest, a little Polish sausage harvest. Right here. I want all my Polish army, all my fans to witness. This is going to be something really great.
If you eat some of the food from the Polish harvest, you'll wind up looking just like you, right?
Just like this. Yeah.
We'll be back with Ivan Putski, the Polish Power, and a special harvest of some kind. Stay with us. And we're just coming up here, and this is a most unusual set of circumstances. Ivan, this is, hi there.
Well, hello there.
Yes, this is Keisha?
Keisha.
Keisha Smushki.
Keisha Smushki.
Yes, it is.
Very good. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Now, this is a what?
This is a kielbasa tree.
Kielbasa tree. This
The
is
special, the only one.
the only
one of its kind.
The only one in captivity. I must say, I've never seen a tree quite like this before.
This is the kielbasa harvest.
Oh, it's beautiful tree.
How do you tell? How do you tell when they're ripe?
When they're ripe, you see the color of green. If you knock, the sound is. Oh, but when you see the color, and the color is brown, and you squeeze, and you squeeze so soft.
Okay.
Yes.
Dobra.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful kielbasa. And they smell so delicious.
Well, listen, Lord, while you're in the back, let Lord taste one.
Well, let him smell it. I didn't.
Oh, let him taste it.
Have a sniff. Have a sniff.
A
You like to share with me?
Oh, certainly not. How revolting.
Very healthy.
What is that?
Come on, Alfred, be a sport, will you?
Just a moment.
Be a sport.
Get a kielbasa leaf.
Oh, a kielbasa leaf. And you know something?
And hold this thing.
Oh, you're going to try it with the cover it with the leaf.
right.
That's the best way to try
All right, Alfred.
it.
Come on, Alfred, go for it.
Come on, Alfred.
Maybe it is too ripe. Maybe it is too ripe.
It's certainly right. The smell of that could knock out an elephant.
You know what I think we better do? We better put a little of this mustard ski on. You know what this does?
No, what does that do?
This gets rid of all the bad insects that get
Insects?
into the kielbasa tree.
What kind of insect would we have that would attack this kielbasa tree?
What kind of insect? Let me put a little mustard.
Certainly not.
Oh, no? No mustard?
Alfred.
Oh, this is awful.
Did you bite it?
You mean to say that this actually grew on this tree?
On the tree. Now taste it.
Nature never made anything smell this bad.
Don't judge anything by its smell.
I couldn't eat
Yes, come on, Alfred, be a sport, will you, please?
No, absolutely.
I hope it don't have no Warsaw Weevils on it. Because if it has a Warsaw Weevil, you know what would happen? That's the insect that might get on it. And you know what we would have to do? We would have to do the Warsaw Weevil dance to get rid of the Weevils.
How you do that?
You know the polka?
Yes.
There's some Weevils there.
Oh, my goodness, there's a Weevil there. No.
How do you get rid of the weevils if the weevils get on the tree?
Oh, well, you put the mustard on the kielbasa, just like, oh my goodness. There we go.
That looks nice.
And even on
It
the
really
green
looks appetizing.
Yes, even on the green ones.
You put it on the green ones as well?
Beautiful, yes. And you
keep
cover
the
it with
weevils away.
the weevils, and no more weevils on the kielbasa tree.
That is really nice. And how many trees are there like this?
Oh, I hate to tell you, we only have one.
You have one kielbasa tree?
One kielbasa tree.
That is a shame.
Too many
Very bad
kielbasas.
news.
Why are there not
news.
more kielbasa trees?
Why are there not more kielbasa trees? Well, you ask the government, the Polish government about that. It's a very sad subject, but they will not allow no more kielbasis because they put a ban on the planting of kielbasa trees.
Well, that's unfortunate, I
Yes,
guess.
very
Alfred, I
sad.
suppose that's unfortunate. How do you think this would be as an import?
It would make the best, but that's not the ripe one.
Oh, that's not a ripe one.
You
no.
got to get the squeezably soft kind, just like
Squeezably
this.
soft. Yeah.
And I give you each one
Oh,
to
really?
take home to the wife.
Oh, isn't that
Alfred,
nice?
how's it taste?
Alfred, first of
You
all,
haven't told us how it
let's
tastes.
find out how it tastes.
I mean, you don't really.
Shall we share it? You like to share it
Yes,
with
share,
me?
Alfred. Come on, Alfred. Be a sport.
You chew together on it.
Yes, chew together. Come on.
Me on the other.
Okay,
And
yes.
for so
Excellent idea.
I
Excellent.
beg your pardon.
Come on, Alfred.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come
Come on. Come on.
I couldn't do that to anybody.
Come on, Alfred.
Please,
Come on,
I love the
Alfred.
kielbasa.
Come on.
I couldn't do that.
Come on, Alfred. Let her have it. All right. But Alfred, you've got to. Come on, Alfred. You have to try it.
Alfred.
Look at that.
Come on, Alfred. Come on, Alfred. Come on.
No, that is too.
Come on now.
Too,
Huh?
Come on.
Not for an English gentleman.
Well, that's why you can try it. Come on,
I
Alfred.
want this one.
Come on, Alfred.
No,
Be a
we
sport.
gotta get out.
Here it comes. He's going to do it.
Okay.
He's going to do it. Alfred's coming close.
Come on.
Alfred, here it goes.
It's coming.
It's
Look,
coming.
look.
It's coming, all right. Get close, it's getting.
Look,
All right,
look.
almost.
Look,
All right, come on, Alfred. Here comes the big one. We'll be back. We'll be back with more TNT. Stay with us. Oh, my goodness. Next week, we'll have a little further word here, commentary on this week's TNT. But next week, Miss Wendy Richter will join us, the ladies' champion of the World Wrestling Federation. Also to join us, by the way, will be Rocky Johnson. Salvatore Bellomo will be here, along with his mom and pop. We'll meet them. And also next week, Brutus Beefcake will join us, along with luscious Johnny Valiant. But certainly a further commentary on this week, I think, without a doubt, certainly it was proven that there is some conclusive evidence to feel that the arm of Cowboy Bob Orton is certainly healed to a certain extent.
Let me tell you something right now, McMahon. You're not playing around with a couple of dummies here. Roddy Piper and I are both very intelligent people. My arm hurts every time I step into a wrestling ring. You bring some quack, probably through Hulk Hogan's advice, out here to try to discredit me because he's scared to death that he's going to get his can whipped for that world title. Well, I'll tell you right now, and everybody else out there, the arm hurts, but Hogan has plenty of reason to worry. And you're not going to discredit us by bringing some quack out here who plays rock music in his office. You got it? I don't care if you're the boss or not.
You ever
I'm
had
telling you the
your
way it
arm
is.
broken? Do you know what it feels
You're
like to
liable to
have a
have one
broken arm? I
broken.
mean, how do you figure that you would be able to tell us when his arm is better or his arm is not better? Who are you? I don't care. Who are you, the doctor or anybody else, to say yes, his arm is better or no, his arm is not better? Only he can say that his arm hurts because only he can feel it. But oh, I know you all want to be big shot because you listen to those morons out there.
The doctor
saying,
said-
"Who's it? The doctor? Huh? The doctor? Are you kidding me, man? The doctor obviously knew nothing. It was obviously to us it was a setup. Those weren't. I didn't recognize your arm there. Did you recognize your?
Not even
I didn't
close.
recognize nothing. He comes and starts hitting on the injury. Then he said it don't hurt.
Doctor
Suppose
said
I
it was-
take you, boom, slap you upside your head. Then you say it hurts. I say it don't hurt. Does that do anything?
The doctor said it was probably mental.
There ain't
Mental.
nothing mentally wrong with me, fella. I'll tell you that right now. I'm sound as sound can be.
What?
We both are, ain't we, Brad?
Sound.
Sound.
Mental.
Sound. Mental perfection. It doesn't matter to me whatever ploy you all want to use. Don't bother me a bit. The fact of the matter is, people are in some trouble around here.
You calling him mental?
No, the doctor said.
The doctor said,
You
"What did you
heard.
say?" I heard what? I heard nothing but a grade nothing, man. I heard nothing but a guy coming up here and saying, "That doesn't hurt, does it?" And now you have the guts to come and say that he's mental.
Who do you think you are? Who does the doctor? Wait, Mr. Piper, what? He is not mental. What kind of a horrendous thing is that to say,
Obviously, the controversy continues. The resident TNT physician said that there's not a thing wrong with this man's arm now.
Resident TNT.
He's the one who's mental. The guy walking around like that claiming to be a doctor is definitely mental. Where did he go to school? Podunk? Let's get
The
out
only
of
thing
here.
he needed was this hair frill. No, we don't gotta go. We don't gotta go. No,
right,
place. No. And then we'll have a siege, you see, because it doesn't hurt, does it? No. You know what you want to hear?
It's killing me.
Yeah, no, it don't hurt.
All right, we thank you very much for joining us, and
we thank you very much.
Next week, join us for more TNT.